What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, in today's video, we're going over Luna Classic as something very big has just happened. Now, I'm sorry for the lack of updates the last 2 days. I do have a case of strep throat right now, so it's kind of hard to get the words out, but we're getting this video out today because something big just happened, and I want to make sure you're well informed. So let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into today's video. Now, make sure you do stay tuned to the middle to end of the video, as I'm going to be telling you how you can get up to $115 literally for free. Okay, so now what are we talking about with Luna Classic? Okay, what all do we have going on? Well, over the last few videos, we were talking about the breakout from this descending wedge that we were expecting to happen very soon. I told you guys, usually what happens is we're going to see these huge run-ups to the upside. We're going to see these larger continuation patterns, typically descending wedges, sometimes triangles of this nature. Then we're going to see the breakout, the back test, and then a continuation. That's the best bullish case scenario that we have. Let those indicators reset, let the bulls cool down, let the bears get a little excited, and then we see continuation to the upside. I told you guys, this needed to happen in this zone, but at least above 22, right? The reason being is because, of course, this is our last little zone of bullish liquidity. We needed to see that the bulls who stepped in back here and the ones who stopped us from seeing a sell-off here were the same ones that are going to allow us to see a continuation back to the upside here. If we were capable of seeing a fall below this zone, I was expecting a capitulation all the way down to as far as 16 to 15, which obviously could have been a more substantial fall of anywhere up to 25% from the bottom side. But from where we put our bottom in, I mean, that easily could have been another 30 to 35% in losses. Now, we can see that is what is happening right now. We are seeing that bullish bounce that we were looking for. We came down towards this zone, towards 24, saw the bounce, and broke back above the top side of the descending wedge. Now the game plan becomes, okay, is this a real breakout? Are we going to go up, establish some support, see the higher high, and then continue? Or is this just going to be a more large, a more macro, A, B, C correction to the downside, in which this breakout doesn't amount to anything and we do continue back down to those lower levels? Well, that's the game plan today. Let's talk about how we identify that this breakout is likely going to continue and how we take advantage of this breakout continuing. Now, looking at this, what I would go ahead and say is that right now we have a key structure. We have the descending wedge breakout, and now we have a descending wedge breaking us out. So as you can see, whenever we saw this breakout here, I told you, even if we break out, I'm not going to really be doing a lot of buying. The reason I wouldn't be doing a lot of buying when we break out is because we will typically run into a lot of resistance the moment we get out of this thing. As you can see here, we had this previous point of support sitting right around 34, in which we came up to that general vicinity and flipped this previous point of support into resistance for now. Not only that though, we had the macro Fibonacci level. If we go from this last swing high to this swing low on the Fibonacci, let's get this pulled up, right? Boom. Swing high to swing low. What happened? We ran right into this 618 to 786 zone of resistance and then continued back to the downside. There were multiple things that happened here, or just simply the fact that the bulls were exhausted from making this breakout happen, which they'd been failing to do for days and days and days. And now that we're out of this thing, they need a bit of a rest before looking to continue. All of these things usually happen. And so for that reason, it was no surprise for us to say, okay, how about instead of just going crazy and buying the moment we get a breakout, let this thing get back above 38. Let it get back above, take out this previous point of resistance, and then we can be confident. But until then, be on the lookout for the back test. And the back test is exactly what we are seeing. So what's beautiful about crypto is that it tends to follow patterns. Now, not every pattern is the same, but many of them are similar. So what I'm going to be looking for from this thing is, do we get above the breakout high? That is going to be the big determining factor at this point for when I'm accumulating, and that is going to be what identifies to me that this is a real breakout and that a continuation to the upside is likely. So now that we have seen this pull to the downside, it created this high. Now I'll call this high the breakout high because we broke out and that's how high we went. Simple as that. So what usually will happen here is that we'll establish a breakout high and then we start to pull back. This is the time in which, again, as I mentioned, the bulls are taking a bit of a break. They were exhausted. They created a huge move. Give them some time. Let our short-term indicators reset. Now, once those bulls go back into full force, usually when we're capable of breaking the breakout high, currently sitting at 33, that is the point in time in which I will do even more accumulating because we are more often than not going to see a continuation back to the upside from that point forward. Now, one thing we have to be aware of is that we still do have this little 39 level, kind of lurking there, right? We had this previous point of resistance. That was our last touch on top of the resistance. And so for that reason, I'm going to divide this into 2 steps. If we break the breakout high, I'm going to start to feel more confident to the point I will accumulate a little bit of Luna Classic. Once we're capable of breaking 39, I would then be even more confident and then finish off my accumulation right there, because that is the full-blown confirmation that we're likely coming back up to retest these high 40 to 50 to 55 levels, and I want to be taking on those 15, 20, 30% gains to the upside back up here as we come retest some of these macro highs, okay? So right now, again, it does look great, and right, we got the breakout and things are looking beautiful, but we're not out of the water yet. Let's get back above 33, clear the breakout high, maybe do a little accumulation. Let's get back above 39 and then really start to expect some further growth to the upside. But considering the fact that we're seeing all of this happen off this massive zone of support after we saw all of this bullish divergence forming on the RSI here, in which we did put in, let's go ahead and show this. We put in this low into the higher low, the low, lower low on the RSI, massive bullish divergence. We had bullish divergence even on the 4-hour charts in the same time frame where we completely reset all the way down to the 30. The fact that we're seeing all of this happening right now makes me more and more confident that we're likely going to see this move to the upside happen, but this is of course not guaranteed. So that is why I'm breaking it down into 2 separate buys once we're capable of clearing the most important obstacles that are in our way. Now, before we talk about how do we identify that maybe this thing is going to capitulate, let me tell you guys again how you can be getting up to $115 and that this is the best sign up and deposit bonus that there is on YouTube right now. Now, if you use the link, go to the link down below, the first link in the comment section, the first link in the description, and what you're going to want to do is press sign up and participate. This is going to go to my referral link. Now, once you do that, you will get $15 USDT as a futures trading bonus on the exchange, on BitGet, completely for free. Now, from that point forward, once you deposit, if you deposit up to $1,000, so anywhere between $100 and $1,000, you will get 10% of your entire deposit back completely as a refund on deposit. That means if you deposit $800, you will get $80 back completely for free that you can do whatever you like with. Now, not only that though, after that point forward, there are up to $4,100 in even more rewards. Again, this is the best sign up and deposit bonus on YouTube right now. So go get up to $115 completely for free with the link down below. Now, let's talk about what happens to the downside. How does this start to break to the downside, and how would I identify that? Well, I don't think it's likely. Let me start with that. I don't think it's likely that Luna Classic is going to see a negative pull here, right? I do believe it is more likely that we will see some type of continuation to the upside, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. So for that reason, again, let's talk about what happens here. Well, I am confident personally that this is going to continue to the top side as long as we are above the low that broke us out. We bounced off of 24 and continued to the upside. So I'm under the belief that as long as we are now setting this higher high on a macro sense and we come in and establish a low anywhere above 24, that we're going to be able to see this bounce to the upside, and I'm again preparing my buys at 33 and 39. So as long as we're above 24, I'm not really all too worried. But if we do lose 24, expect the push to 22, and I don't think anything would be stopping us from that stronger capitulation that I've been warning you about over the last few weeks. But again, 24 is still the level to be on the lookout for, and as long as we are above this last low, that final low that we established, I do believe we're all good, and we again can be preparing for these buys to the top side. So with that said, guys, that is going to be about it for today's video. I hope you guys do enjoy these fast style videos in which I'm letting you guys know exactly what's happening on the hourlies, the 4-hourlies, and the daily charts, and just kind of going forward and letting you know what I would be doing, because we've honestly been reading Luna Classic like a book for the last few weeks here. Now, I do plan on continuing the videos and making even more. Do remember, I have strep throat right now, so it's kind of hard to talk. I'm kind of getting towards the end of this video and it's already starting to hurt, but I do plan on being able to make at least one video a day for the next couple of days until these antibiotics kick in and I'm feeling much better. But with that said, that's going to be about it for today's video. Use the link down below, get up to $115 completely for free, and I will see you all next time. Peace.